We begin tonight with the layoffs at NOAA. An employee in the Ann Arbor office says about 20% of the people there were fired today. 13 on your side's Julia Gorman talked with that employee. She joins us now with how this cut could impact our entire community and state.
Juliet, Nicole Rice says she's known about potential firings for a few weeks now, working in fear ever since. She was cut from the agency this afternoon.
It's something not everyone can say, but Nicole Rice loved her job.
They pulled the rug out from underneath us.
A communications specialist at the NOAA Great Lakes Environmental Research Lab in Ann Arbor, she's dedicated a decade to the agency. That is until she got this email Thursday afternoon informing her she's terminated. She spoke with me over the phone rather than on camera because she's been crying all day.
And the termination was due to our probationary status and that our skills were no longer needed by the United States government.
Rice says she's considered probationary because she was recently promoted. She tells me about 20% of her office was fired, or about 8 people, including her entire department.
We relay information to the public, to Congress, about all the great work that we're doing at the research lab, work that provides information about harmful algal blooms, about currents and waves and winds and lake effect snow.
Now she says that's not going to happen. Her lab's Facebook page, which often shared information about everything from invasive species to ice cover, waves, wind, and more, posted it's now on an indefinite hiatus.
Our front admin staff was also let go. So folks who answer the phone, folks who take inquiries from the public, folks who take questions about search and rescue operations, and like I mentioned before, harmful algal blooms, safety and navigation. No one is there to answer those calls. There is a dire impact when you start cutting away at these services for America and for the globe.
And guys, we don't know exact numbers just yet, but according to a nonprofit, it's called the Union of Concerned Scientists, they say that the layoffs just today are in the hundreds. But, you know, that could be 200, that could be 800. We just don't know at this point.
And, you know, there's so much talk about this on social media tonight as well. And we wonder, so why is it's such a concern, especially for our weather in West Michigan? Does this have an impact?
It really does, Julia. Any meteorologist, whether it is, again, with the government, with the National Weather Service, us here in broadcasting, even in the private sector that deals with forecasting, logistics companies, for example, they use data that comes from NOAA and the National Weather Service. We're talking that every operation that you see that it analyzes data, assimilates data, we're talking satellite, radar, ground observations, buoys, you name it, that data comes from NOAA and the National Weather Service. And we use that data that comes into our complex weather models that we use to forecast and try to communicate to the public. So, of course, you just don't want to get ahead of yourself here. Obviously, this is very fresh today, but any hiccup in that process of how we analyze and use this very useful data, that could obviously lead to impacts down the line. And it's not just for those at the National Weather Service, for example. It is us in broadcasting. It's maybe your favorite YouTuber that you look at for forecasting, your apps that you use, that uses data from NOAA and the National Weather Service. So obviously could be a domino effect in the near future.
So something we're all going to be keeping an eye on and seeing how this plays out.
Exactly. That's going to be definitely the focus going forward.
But right now we have everything we need to know about our forecast for tomorrow.